This morning I would like to introduce the sacred cubit and the lost cubit. These are measurements taken from natural phenomena, and they're related to the structure of the earth, to the speed of light, to atomic weights and atomic radii. That is the distance between the nucleus and the electron orbits of hydrogen. The sacred or royal cubit, and there's some discussion as to which this measurement which should be called. I'll call it the royal cubit, and hope I can keep that straight in my presentation here. The sacred cubit was found in the pyramid at Giza, the Great Pyramid, and it's found as a unit of measure and a yardstick in many areas of the ancient world. But this particular measurement was carved in stone just above the entrance to the king's chamber. The rings made in this cubit length have a natural resonant frequency of 144 megahertz, which is a harmonic of light speed. It's a harmonic of 6 times gravity. It's a harmonic of the mass at the center of a light field. And in recent years we've discovered that it is also a measurement of a wavelength in the standing gravity wave of the planet. Now, how do you measure gravity waves and how do you measure their wavelengths? We don't know, quite frankly. The ancients were able to do this, and in recent years, a gentleman named Hartmut Müller in Germany has developed a mathematics to describe the full spectrum of gravity wave frequencies. And in that he's discovered that this particular wavelength appears to be connected to the constructive phase of solid matter. Witness the fact that with this particular measurement, the Great Pyramid is the longest surviving structure on the planet, and of course was built by civilization with a profound knowledge of mathematics, physics, astrophysics, and we believe gravity. And the probability that they also use some kind of a levitational or anti-gravity system to build the pyramids, to lift the stones into place. That's yet to be duplicated in the modern world as far as we know. But hopefully in the near future we'll find some answers to that. In 2000, a friend of mine named Hans Becker discovered another cubit length. He was looking for the measurement lying between the royal cubit and the sacred cubit, which is about 25.3 inches. And there was a gap in the known sequence of different cubit lengths. So Hans got busy with his calculator one day, and he took the polar circumference of Earth, the equatorial circumference of Earth, and divided that into the speed of light. He converted all of these measurements in feet or miles per second into inches, then divided by 2 until he came down to a comfortably small number. And that is the lost cubit, also called the Becker cubit. So this particular measurement has the properties of giving the rings a frequency, a natural resonant frequency of 177 megahertz. And it just curiously is also the, if we take 3 times the Schumann resonance of our planet Earth, which is the vibration or resonant frequency of the atmosphere between the surface of the Earth and the ionosphere, kind of a distinct layer, that 3 times the Schumann resonance of 7.83 gives us the measurement in inches of the lost cubit. So by comparison, the 2 cubit lengths, if we consider that the sacred cubit, the smaller of the 2 here, defines the solid matter of Earth, then the lost cubit, being somewhat larger, and you can see kind of a relationship here, would define the atmospheric frequencies of the planet. There's a spatial relationship between the 2, which would look like a photograph of the Earth from space with that very, very thin shell of atmosphere around it showing up as somewhat of a blue haze on that sharp horizon against the darkness of space. So these are produced in a number of sizes. The half cubit size is like so in their size relationships. And one of the interesting things we found is that for the healers, the sacred cubit, the smaller dimension, whether it's of the half cubit size or the 1 cubit size, seems to deal with physical problems very readily, whereas the lost cubit seems to deal more with mental and emotional problems or distortions in the aura. What we call problems are actually electrical or energetic distortions within the human aura. And so by comparing these, you can see that the smaller ring size can be equated to physical matter, and the larger ring size can be equated to the etheric or the atmosphere of the human, or of any plant or of any animal. So this is the discussion that I wanted to clarify today, and just show that there is a distinct difference in the size, and that their interaction can perhaps even provide some interesting highlights in terms of the energetic interaction of the 2. So that you can see the tensor in the open space in the ring showing a different light quality against the dark background. If you compare the background outside the ring to inside the ring, there should be a very distinct differentiation between the 2. So that will conclude my description of the properties, the relationships of the 2 cubit lengths, and a few of our discoveries, and then to go further into applications with the larger rings. We can enclose the entire body through one of these larger rings, and by simply lowering it down around a person, you'll find that quite often that the person will actually record sensations as this energy plane as this empty, so-called empty space passes down through the body, because it does penetrate completely through the body. The larger ring then also does a wonderful job of clearing the aura and untangling any distortions or injuries in the auric field. One of the interesting phenomena that we've recorded with these larger rings is to have two people stand face to face inside the rings and just hold it about waist level and just hug. And we found that the mental, emotional, and etheric bodies will actually merge so that one person can totally experience the other's mental, emotional, and etheric structure. There's kind of a merging or a molding or a melding of two individuals into one. And this might be a good exercise for the whole world to go through, so we could totally understand our differences and similarities between peoples and nations. The beads that we put on these rings are a small amplifier. This spherical capacitor was used by Tesla in the production of some of his free energy devices and energy transmission systems. So we just adapted that to our purpose, and what it does, it just gives the rings a little bit more horsepower.